Perfect. Oh, I was using push to talk. I'll better. This race is Synthpop is back against Vanivan. My name's Nitsky. Commentary for the race here. Glad everybody can hear me out there in chat. So this is the Kefka at Narshe Swiss round run. And we have two pretty good runners. I know Synthpop has been doing a bunch of work, and so has Vani. So we're definitely in for a good race. And they should be going any second now, and there they go. So this run, roughly a third of the way through the game. And it's an intro to the full run. The full run, no sketch, is about, I think world record's about 4.5 hours or so. Glitches a little bit longer than that. So in the beginning, we want to basically go through these tutorial fights because the game is old, unfortunately. So teach you as you went there. And we have this technique, as you can see, where our runners are trying to give our mystery character some more experience, but not too much experience, because we're going to skip this encounter here by going by these tiles and getting these other encounters here. So we do see a pincer attack from Bonnie and a pincer attack obviously on Synthpop's side. Well, the key on this fight here is that the Lobo, it has the boss flag, so you do have to kill it. You do have to make sure that their run gauges are full before they can actually run. The Bioblast command, while it seems slow, allows that ATB bar to fill, so it allows them to get a full bar so that they can both run away. It's really important for the run that Witch and Vix do run away. A third of the game. Demand perfection immediately. Basically, it comes down to having Wedge and Vix run away from these fights so that we can get our mystery character to level 5 so that we can prepare her for the run here. In this fight, the Vo Mammoths have to be killed separately. They're, I believe they're immune, or they get healed by Bioblast, so we can't do what we did in the first fight. But once we have them down, which both of these runners are easily able to do, Tara's able to do her Bioblast because she's OP. And again, they run away from there. So if you do have any questions about the run, I do have chat open. And basically, at this point, it's not something extremely exciting other than there's some dialogue here, but we want to skip through that because it's not extremely important. And I believe both of these runners did set up seed manipulation. Nope, I lied. Synthpop did not, so he got an encounter there. So that allows Vani to take a slight lead early, I would say. Sync, yes. Sync is definitely important. So we do have Vani coming into the Welk fight. There is a quick kill. I know Vani has been working on this a bit lately, so we'll see if he's able to pull it off here. So the way that the quick kill works is that we want to basically hit Welk 3 times before he goes into his shell. That should be enough damage to kill him. And we have these wait tricks where we open the menu at a certain point, do certain actions to stall the enemy's ATB, to get off more attacks. Have to do the seed setting for the run? No, you don't, but it allows for, look at that, Lynn's super fast. Backing me up there. Vonnie coming through here, he is able to weight trick that to stop the ATB, and he is able to get quick kill, which saves roughly about 20 to 30 seconds versus not getting the quick kill, which we'll see if Synthpop on his side is able to pull that off. Only he is not. So what you're going to see here is, unfortunately, Synthpop having to wait. Welk went back inside the shell. If you try and attack the shell right now, you can't kill it. It runs into something called Megavolt, which again, just wastes more time and does more damage to the team. So you do have to wait for it to pop out. It goes brew, just like that. Pops out of its shell. He needs to do. And that. And the fire beam should be enough to kill him off. Unfortunately, he had some low damage rolls there. Got 2 missiles off. It's hard to see 2 runners sometimes. There we go. And he's got it there. It's tough if you haven't practiced the quick kill. The weight trick timing is precise, but it's pretty precise. I still have challenges with it myself. I'm trying to go through. Its tails up. And what a god. So again, Synthpop is getting some extra encounters here. As long as he has Wedge and Vix run away, there's not a major time loss other than happens. And so now, unfortunately, it's a bit of a time loss there for Synthpop because we still do have to fight some additional battles coming up anyways. Then from here, for Synthpop, it's more cutscenes. For Vonnie, he's moved on and he has named the mystery character T because we want the characters' names as short as possible, as each character takes a frame to write their name. So if we can save 4 frames times 1,000,000 text boxes, that's 4 million frames. Definitely lots of time save in regards to that. Again, scenes in this run. A lot of cutscenes in this game in general. The prevailing joke is hold A to win, or mash A sometimes to win. You do see the bit of the difference here so far in the runners. Is it 2 characters per frame? I thought it was 1 character per frame. Who's an expert? Bubba the Scrub, answer that question. If it is 2, then we're only saving 2 million frames. But if it is 1, then 4 million frames is definitely what we want to save there. So again, just coming back to Vonnie's stream, he is fighting some battles to get Terra some extra experience, or in this case, T. And Synthpop's able to name it T as well. Vonnie is on Step Route, which is really important in this game. It determines what the next encounters will be, and the way the seed is set up, the most favorable encounters will occur as long as you stay on Step Route. If you fall off, then some less favorable encounters later on in the run. We reset later on. Frames isn't even worth it. Definitely not. So you see Vonnie pacing back and forth there. We do have to force 1 extra encounter, which means for Synthpop, he'll be able to run away, provided he's able to get to level 6 before then. So it won't be a huge loss. You'll always know Terra hits level 6 when learns Antidote, so you don't have to pop into the menu just to make sure. In regards to that. And you'll see Terra falls down a well. Dry well. And she gets up and she gets knocked down. And that's the end of the game. 8 minutes 30 seconds, that's time. I don't know if that's world record, but again, Synthpop will be able to catch up here. We're going to see more cutscenes on Vonnie's side, teaching about the girl who goes with this maniacal person named Kefka and goes and destroys 50 Magitech armored knights in 3 minutes. So it's definitely good. In regards to that. Lots of cutscenes in this game. One more time still. Yes, for those of you in the know, Pop did get level 6. I truly hope so, because he's activated the cutscene. And if Terra's not at level 6, the way characters join of that level, I believe Locke joins at level 7, so it's one more than her level. So if Terra's only level 5, he joins at 6, and that makes life more complicated down the road. That true. What you want to do is you want to watch a full run, Anatolius, and you definitely get your answer there. How am I supposed to know that Bannon can't die? We'll imagine that he can't die. We see on Vonnie's side here, he is picking up the treasure hunter / thief. Again, pretty optimal menu there from Vonnie. Frames as he can. She is 6 synth pop, perfect. I apologize, I looked away for about 10 seconds and I wanted to be sure, because as you know, that's super important. Just a cutscene call. Yes, that's true. The 52 death warp is, it just calls a cutscene, because I guess you can do that in old video games. They skip Magius, they skip the opening cutscene about the War of the Magi. As you allow the opening sequence to play, once you get to the part where they're going through the snow, if you hit A, it'll pop up, and then you'll hit new game. The game assumes you've seen that cutscene, and that way doesn't show it to you again. So you need to have a save file in order to be able to do that. Otherwise, because I had that happen during a race, during the first tournament, and it's about a 4-minute loss. It really sucks. And Solo, well, you know, I guess. So Vonnie's coming up to the Marshall fight here. This is where the game teaches you about multiple parties. In a full run, you do this a couple of more times. So it's kind of exciting to do here. You get your buddy Mog here. You use this party because we want Mog's pike, ultimately. And he does some decent damage. To, at some point, pull the pike off of Mog. Because it's useful. We can't actually access him in a menu, so the only way to pull it off of him is to use the item menu. For some reason, the game decided to not have people think of that. So, you know, great QA, just like all Final Fantasies. Oh, someone messed up there, and maybe that person got fired, maybe they didn't. Vonnie pulling off the shield and... not necessary to pull off the shield, but some preference, I think. Synth Pop moving Locke well out of the way. Continues to hammer down Marshall. Marshall down at about a 12:36-ish. It's a decent time. Are hilarious. Unfortunately, on Synth Pop's side, you have to wait for those wolf animations. You have to wait while they're in a walking motion. If they're not in a walking motion, it will trigger counter. Again, just how the game decided to do that. So again, unfortunately, a bit of a loss for him there. But he gets through. Mog learns a new dance. If for swag, he can have Mog dance, bluff the items, and maybe it works out. Except, oh, it's not happening. That is going to be a percent pop. He is not going to be able to pull off the pike or the shield because Mog is stopped. That is really unfortunate. And Cuckoo is also down, so... Yeah, I was kind of sad. I was hoping maybe Synth Pop will pull out the swag dance, but to definitely slow him down a little bit there. Vonnie into the forest. You want to stay out of the forest tiles because the encounters are always worse. There are always more enemies. More enemies on the screen means it takes longer to run away in battles. Vonnie had just forgotten to stay out of the forest, or if he's fallen off step route, but definitely important there. Mog comes out of it. Dance. And Marshall is down. Some swag there. I give him some swag points. Yeah, it's really unfortunate for Synthpop that Marshall does have the ability to net. A 1 in 3 chance to do that. He does get the swag kill, so I appreciate that. Side, he's going to meet the King of Figaro, which in one of the text boxes, the old man in Narshe tells you to go to the King of Figaro and figure things out. So the treasure hunter thief and King E has been born. I apologize, Synthpop. I didn't realize you had pulled them off during the Vo Mammoth fight. It's hard. I have 2 eyeballs and 2 screens to look at. But I'm glad that you did pull them off then. Then we would see a dance, so it all worked out. So on Vonnie's side, again, I would say it might be about a minute difference at this point, but the way that this game goes, a minute is time, I should say. And some glasses, and I'd have 4. Synthpop not taking, I believe, the optimal route. Walk across to that mountain and use that as a guide, and then just go straight down. To each their own. Different queue. No Sam, and he is at Figaro Castle. You learn about E's twin brother, S. Spoilers. We need to trigger this cutscene to continue the game. Really important to do that right away because it is a speed run. We want to go fast. He's able to pull off Sabin's quickly, and he is well on his way. Here, everything looks good here. Everything looks okay on Synthpop's side. There. I've heard that they were twins. I'm mashing the text boxes so quickly and casually when it came out, so it's been such a long time. Oh, Chancellor. Vonnie needs to learn Chancellor Manip there. A little bit of time there. Nothing major, though. Distinguish between the 2 C's. The fact that the game is able to distinguish between letters is astonishing to me, based on the game itself. Yes. I do too a bit, Sun Gazes, but S, we definitely want S in your party. He is going to be the main DPS for this entire run up to Kefka at Narshe. So without him, the game would be really, really challenging, I would say, at this point. Vonnie's going to come down and speak with the 2 guards and get staring match. So that's always fun. It's going to talk to Kefka. Again, to continue the storyline. And then from there, it's going to talk some more. Kefka's going to talk about burning the place down, maybe. More spoilers. Fire should be no problem there. Have Sarah speak with Locke. They're going to go have a nap. That's what happens during the middle of the day. just because the runs themselves are that long, and FF4's, I want to say it's pretty technical. This game has some technicals as well, you know, doing Joker Doom and reverse Joker Doom later on in the runs. Kind of not easy. At least I see, you know, top runners mess it up, so. So far, Vonnie, you are doing well. What I expected, basically. As more people, we have 70, I believe 73, 74 runners. In this tournament, myself included. I've never actually completed a full speed run of this game. I have 4.5 hours to sit down, but I do have an hour and a half to kind of hang out with Paladin. With Final Fantasy IV, it's about an hour, so I can definitely do that here as well. We're gonna have Vonnie come up. You don't talk to Kefka when he comes and burns the place down, because that wastes time. The guard that's blocking the doors. We're going to get the world's only chocobos, 3 of them. Figaro is super rich and can afford 3. And we are going to run away from the castle. Like a coward, I guess. Fantasy 4, somehow it made its way into this tournament. Fantasy 5 doesn't have that similar category, unfortunately. It has some OP technology called basically burrow, and it disappears. My favorite part, I don't know where that sand goes to go on top of it. That's the tech I'm trying to figure out there. There should, in theory, just be a hole in the ground, but there isn't. Normally, if you're playing this game casually and you don't realize that you can just auto crossbow the guys with Edgar, you would have Terra use her fire spell, and this would amazingly long cutscene where Locke and Edgar get dumbfounded that Terra knows magic, as they say. So definitely to avoid that, I forget exactly where. If you use magic that they turn into this cutscene, so it's definitely important not to trigger that cutscene. Vonnie is able to quickly kill the Magitech armors twice with auto crossbow. Sharp. I never even noticed sometimes that they have fans. I'm looking and mashing A lot, so thank you for helping me out with that. 9% you guys. We see more cutscenes on Vonnie's side. 2D, non-full motion video cutscenes, courtesy 1994 technology. And we're going to see Vonnie just do a slight dodge to the left there and come to the cave to Figaro Castle. We're going to fight some enemies in here. Synthpop just coming along here. Again, roughly about a minute difference between at this point, but a minute is easily lost on Vonnie's side, and Synthpop can easily gain a minute back. So it's still anyone's race. Still quite early. Fight the Hornets and Blearies. There's a prevailing notion that perhaps you should fight 2 Hornets if you do get that encounter, because it's not worth it for the experience they provide. Gonna walk down here. He's gonna go out of South Figaro, or out of the tunnel to South Figaro. He's got one more encounter here. Or does enough damage. He joins at 2 levels ahead of Terra. So he joined at level 9. Just going to get one more encounter here. We've got Synthpop almost on his way after he talks a little bit more, and he'll be at the cave. And Vonnie makes it out of the cave. There are tiles on the world map that do not increase the threat in this game, so you definitely want to walk on those tiles. The threat generation is different in Final Fantasy IV, if you're familiar with it, where you have encounters based on a seed. This game generates encounters based on threat, based on whatever tiles you walk on, so it's a little bit different. Vonnie buy sprint shoes, which he already did. Going to equip those and move everybody into the back row, because when you're in the back row in this game, you do half damage, but you also take half damage. Do that, equip the sprint shoes, because we want to go fast, and walking fast beats walking slow. This mountain, because we have to get to the returner's hideout, which is through the top of this mountain. Coming through the cave. As going to a spot to the right here where there's a relic that casually I never knew existed. Called the Atlas Armlet. It allows Edgar to do additional damage there. Terra getting hit a little bit. Terra, typically you want to heal if Terra's under 60 HP. You definitely don't want anybody to die at this point in the run, because that would be a huge time loss, especially since he hasn't saved. Because the only way to bring them back would be, I believe, via tent at this point. Yep, Blandation. It is Final Fantasy VI, either version 1.0 or version 1.1 for the SNES. It doesn't, whichever version you choose to run doesn't affect what's going on. Rhinotar back attack, you definitely want to avoid these on the walk. That's why you walk on the specific tiles. Sure, threat generation in regards to that, but he gets through that with relatively no problem. And Synthpop is in South Figaro. We've got an important 4-pack for Vonnie. You want to have as much as you can. Fortunately, Locke didn't get away there. Sometimes that just happens. Fortunate for the experience route that Vonnie appears to be on still. Would be terrible then. Leveling up is bad. Our ROM hacks, people have actually quote-unquote fixed M-block. Not M-block. Which is bad for a speedrun, so. Listen, it was 1994. There was no Google Translate. Ted Woolsey was given like 6 weeks, I think. Here, translate a game in 6 weeks. So, I think he did good. Fantasy 4 translation, personally speaking. I should have 100% the dialogue wasn't made up. What a time to be alive, Lynn. What a time to be alive. Nobody cared. Enemies just doing his thing. We want to run away from the enemies in the interior, because those are brawlers and tuskers. Tuskers hit like a truck. They do a counter to physical attack called Blizzard. You want to avoid them. Brawlers just in general are bad news. You want to hit the outside encounters here. In regards to that, we'll see if he gets Locke to run away. Nope. I'll stick around for that. Sure, if you ask Ted Woolsey, he would want to take Son of a Submariner back. I'm sure of it. Worse. I feel like it could have been worse. It could have been better, of course. And get a Woolsey FF5. Get the Atlas Armlet. Interesting strategy, Cotton. We'll see if it pays off. I'd attack here for Vonnie. It's pretty good RNG for him. For Synthpop, this is the worst because basically Edgar's AoE attack is no good, and oh, he should have hit the right side ones first, and he had lock attack Edgar. Again, interesting strategy there. This is true. Impresario. Synthpop survives. Unfortunately, Terra got Bane touched there by the Trilliums. We'll see if Vonnie does stop to heal. He does. And he is at 10.98, so he is okay to go to our next boss here, Vargas, who basically seems to have a vendetta against Sabin. That will be made clear momentarily at the time. So Vargas comes along with these two bears, Hoo-Poo. Basically, what you do is you cast fire on one, auto crossbow, cast fire on the second one. Hold A to win at that point. And Vonnie is choosing to move things now. Definitely a good strategy for what's coming up. The Dirk off of Locke and gives him the Mithril Blade. No crossbow because that does better damage than the pike does. Vargas has Gale Cut. Does some damage. As long as you're at full health, you should be in no danger of dying here in regards to that. We'll see if his cutscene comes up. Not yet. Oh, enough. With you now, and we'll trigger another cutscene. With these cutscenes, as long as you hold A, the game will progress on the first possible frame. Scenes where text boxes pop up, you have to mash A optimally. These ones are easy, just hold A. Fist does not hurt Sabin. Drives all of your friends away, so that's good. So we're going to learn, the book teaches you about a blitz called Pummel. You'd have no clue what to do here. So it's left, right, left, and A, which Vonnie's been able to pull off. And basically, you learn that Vargas was supposed to be the successor, not Sabin, but he ran off in a mad dash of power. And casual 3240 for Vonnie. Definitely good there. Eventually yell at you about how to do it. I was unaware of that here. Because I had the book, I just followed the book. Attempt to input Pummel. Generous. Yes. The game was quite expensive when it came out, Couch, so you would hate to have someone get this far and then basically be stuck. Seemed almost unfair. It was like 60 or 70 bucks when it came out. It was pricey. Well, yes, this run is only Kefka at Narshe, which should happen in roughly about an hour or so here. GT Pummel. World record attempts are in order. See, for this used in the late 90s, it's still, even on eBay, it's still quite a pricey game. I actually own it. I bought it for $11 in 2000. So I think I did okay. We see synth pop coming into the... So definitely again. I'm creeping up just a little bit more. It's probably about 2 minutes difference at this point. Much more, but still anybody's game. We have Bonnie coming into the returner's hideout. See this guy here. There is a potential to soft lock at this point. And this other guy that you're going to see walking, but he's way over there, so we're okay. He blocks the front guy, and you can't do anything, and you have no control of Edgar, so you just sit there forever. But definitely didn't happen there, so that's good. Not 11,000. More cutscenes. They talk about a box of some sort. Man unleashed it. Bannon gets very tired. You're going to see Bonnie picking up some items shortly. Vargas's cutscene is triggered on synthpop's side, so he's definitely in the driver's seat there in regards to finishing that fight. Bonnie's going to go and speak with our friends here. World. See, estimated time, Felix, roughly about an hour and a half to 2 hours. The world record is owned by some guy named Couch_23. I think he has a 124 and something. So that we pick up some items here. Air Lancet will be important later on. True Knight is optional. It's in the route from LCC's notes. Some people pick it up, some people don't. Later, the antidote is useful if Locke gets poisoned later on. And the Phoenix Sound is super important. We're gonna just say no to Bannon on Bonnie's side. Because it's like Beetlejuice. Say no. Tara comes back in, gets sulky. Bannon moonwalks his way back, and you see more cutscenes. He has a scrub. Very scrubby. Not my fault, because after Vargas, you die 52 times, which if you're doing everything right and you hold your left hand up at a 60-degree angle, it triggers a cutscene. It is stupid. I agree with you, Lynn. Yeah, apparently Couch owns the world record in this amazing category. Yeah, it's boring because you just ultimately save your party so that you die a bunch of times, and it's really not fun. I was thinking of running it, but definitely not. We're going to see some manipulation right now on Bonnie's side. It's going to come up to this save point. He's going to save. He's going to go save strats. Boo. Leave Bannon in front row for more excitement, please. And he's going to save. He's going to reset a couple of times here because when he set up seed manipulation to manipulate the river so that you get no more than 2 encounters, which is definitely nice versus a bunch of encounters fast. So he's definitely setting that up. Not my fault. If you hang out, you'll definitely see more glitches. Final Fantasy 3 US, Final Fantasy 6. I was one of those people who was confused because I own Final Fantasy 3. I'm looking at the cart that says 3. And then Final Fantasy 7 came out, and I wondered what happened to 4 to 6. I figured it out. Old internet. So Bonnie gets the first of 2 encounters. You always want to go left. River. Another encounter with pterodons. I'm not sure if Bonnie's going to fight this. Some people skip it. Some people fight it to get Edgar to level 11. Looks like Bonnie's in the fight enemies. I'll have everyone else run away, which is good. Glad to be of help. But basically, you just have to auto crossbow the pterodons twice. He gets a boatload of experience. It's sit and hang out and make sure everything's cool. Well, there are 2 save points in here. There's one here. He's going to menu here. So you can menu at the first save point. You can menu at the second save point on the river. 0 encounters, might as well just get it out of the way. Hopefully he goes left here. Excellent. First try on that. Like to see that during a run. The second one, he'll just back off and he should be back on the raft and away you go. I like how there are ladders. River could be stopped. You could climb up and down. Save couch, definitely another bold strategy. If he must be super confident in his Ultras abilities, not safety save. It is a race. I would always recommend safety saving. It's like this fight. Safety save before the train coming up and after the train, because you don't want to do that again. Bannon with 79 hit points. I might say he has 78 bonus HP right now. No, Vonnie has a tutorial about this fight, so unless somehow he gets incorrect blitz input with Sabin, I don't anticipate any issues, but you never know. So he's weight tricking there again to stall Ultros' ATB and do more damage. The hit there. Arrow with the hit as well. Horrible goes off. Yeah. That Bannon will never get hit with a properly executed fight. Thank you for dropping the knowledge. And again, Vonnie's through. Oh, casual 41-45. Not too bad. Pulled the suplexes. Oh, maybe casually, but not in a speed run. See if Vonnie drops the suplex swag. Otherwise, I'll just say run invalid. And perhaps. Yeah, basically, Blantation, tricking and the way that you order the attacks, it stalls Ultros' ATB, so he doesn't get anything beyond those 2 attacks. And he counters when fire with ink. And there's one other one. I'm not 100% sure on the mechanic at that point. CC for basically teaching us all of the tech. Godfather of Final Fantasy VI speedrunning. And Shadow, we're going to pick up Shadow for safety. And, skip Shadow just for the excitement factor, but apparently not. Apparently not. Looking in a certain way, but he appears to be 1 step off there. Something happened because that encounter is supposed to happen 1 tile down. Instead, it happened in the forest. So I didn't see 100% how he was walking, but the way the step route is written, he should have gotten an encounter there, but didn't, so it was a little bit tougher. He lost probably 3 or 4 seconds just trying to run away from that. Basically, not my, except there's going to be a sequence break later in the run. We're going to skip a character, basically. Near him on Wednesday. Man, I'm sad I'm not going to be there. So we do see Synthpop coming down to the Ultros fight here. Vonnie's in the Imperial base where it's loads of cutscenes for about the next 5 minutes, we'll say. How Kefka's maniacal. Kefka tells them to do their job. Hilarity ensues. Lynn. Appreciate it. Synthpop coming into the Ultros fight here. Much excite. That's not banned. You want to do task subframe resets? Good luck. Be the robot. Feel the frame, see the frame. But does here. Appears to be. Older strats. Oh, Terra cast fire now is going to get counter cancel, and Terra's going to go down like sack bricks. Boom. That's very sad. By the subframe reset, work the task does someday. Unfortunately, he gets muscle heads just to get the rhythm down. All these fights just have it seems to be a rhythm in regards to that. So hopefully Synthpop definitely takes care of business here. It's in the back row, so while he does half damage, he only receives half damage, so it might be okay. So he should be okay there. It's a little bit slower. He's through, so that's definitely good. On Vonnie's side here, I apologize to everybody following him. He picked up the Mustache Man, the slowest character in the history of Final Fantasies. The retort strat. We're going to abuse Cyan's retort ability shortly. Some bosses and do some crazy stuff. Get more cutscenes on Bonnie's side. It'd be about 4 minutes or so at this point. Again, nothing is for certain until Gao is can be unfortunate time loss even if you don't expect it. General Leo's just received an important carrier pigeon to Vector, leaving Kefka in charge. And step 1 in the maniacal villain cookbook, Own Poison River, and perhaps it's into your 144 hertz monitor. Then you can see all the subframes. I'm very going to be the human task. That's nice. So we're going to see Vonnie had changed his battle speed to 1. Because at this point, Kefka's a normal sprite, so he's in your party. We just have to hit him once. So it doesn't matter to change a battle speed at this point. Take Kefka twice. Basically, hold A to win should be the optimal strat that I'm sure he's going to follow. He does that. He says, I'm not a waiter. Wait. So at this point, Vonnie should be gearing up for the Templar soldier fight. It's super exciting. Remove Shadow's equipment because we're thieves. He's going to equip Sabin. He's going to change the battle speed back because in this game, the higher the battle speed number, the slower your opponents go. As a kid, I used to play on battle speed 1. It was actually quite challenging. You just have to grind for days. Counter there, Templar, what's going to happen is Shadow's going to throw the air lance that we picked up in the Returner's hideout down Templar and Pummel, because Pummel is faster than Orbital and still does enough damage to kill Templar, although which does his counter. And on Kefka in the madness, dumps the poison in the river, and instant death ensues. I played on Battle Speed 1 because I thought 1 meant it was easier. The book didn't say. See the subtitles. Someday someone, oh, Battle Speed active? No, see, I tried active, and that was even worse. On active was worse than on weight. We get the full cyan, which is really going to be unfortunate for Synthpop. He is going to lose a boatload of frames during the Gao cutscene. Sometimes people just hit start and move on, and they're not too worried about it. Going to equip the sprint shoes, super important. Battle speed back. He's going to fight the commander. Unfortunately, on Vonnie's side, he has seen that the king, who I'm still trying to figure out this graphic, years and years later, it just looks like he's got a red bandage on his forehead there. You're wrong. Ooh. I see now. Thank you, Niram. I appreciate it. I learned something. 20 years of now the wondering's over. So we see here Cyan, in a fit of jealousy, basically runs the room where he hangs out and lives, this bachelor pad where he's got a double bed. Finds that his wife and his kid are dead, and in a fit of rage comes to the Imperial base, where we will now pick up with Sabin and Shadow, where Vonnie is going to boo safety heal. It's very exciting. From there, to a series of fights here. Fight is the fastest command because we can do enough damage to each grunt. Frames and go fast. Problems here. Basically, you have to talk to Cyan. These cutscenes. I find if you just hold down A as you approach, it will automatically, on the first possible frame, talk to the person you need to talk to. And this is the same for any NPC in the entire game. Want to do that to go fast, and you don't want to go behind. Basically, when Vonnie went there, he should have just gone left once and then all the way up, but I understand. Sometimes that's hard. So for the cadet grunt fight here, it all depends on what Cyan does. Cadet, so that's good. To counter, that's okay. Ben's going to pummel because Shadow's able to kill the other grunt. And that is the fastest way, basically, for that to be done. Enemies. One is fastest for the enemies. Up here. Also, what we do for fun is give Old Man Cyan the ability to become a part robot, like the... where I was going with that, but that's okay. And as you can see, he maniacally runs around. Go together, and now these are, again, a series of cutscenes. To Grape Drink. Soap Poison. So if you've ever watched A Christmas Story, Ralphie... from soap poison, so that's my best theory. Basically, Kefka took some liquid palm olive. He had like the industrial size you get from Costco, and just dumped it in the river. Unfortunate pincer for Vonnie. Actually, it's not really that unfortunate, since these are unrunnable fights anyways. Just has to pay a little more attention, make sure he doesn't accidentally target himself. Maybe it's gain, maybe it's I don't know. If you want to pincer and get the God Vonnie RNG, that's where you want to pincer, is these fights anyways. The side attack, so you know. For Vonnie, gets no time loss pincer and then rewarded with preemptive side attack. Here, appears as though he's slightly behind his personal best splits based on the color of green that I see there. Out of the base, 55-20-ish. He's going to come down here and go into the Phantom Forest. Oh, and he is going to save. Single ghost there. Should be able to run away from there. Was up here. So the Phantom Forest, basically you go northeast, and then northeast again, and then northeast onto the train. Otherwise, if you don't know where you're going, you can truly get lost in here. And reminds me of a nightmare scenario. Ghost pincer. Well, Couch, you win the prize. Point. Couch just looking to protect his world record. In this case, Vonnie is going to use a potion, and now he's going to run away, hopefully. The pause, it's going to say the ghosts can use a stop-like ability. They can also use fire ability. This is really unfortunate. Oh, more time loss. More time loss. Oh, so this could definitely open the door for Synthpop to come back. The question is he going to backtrack? He is not. Gone back and used the recovery spring myself. I might have. You want Sabin alive. Because the train, while Vonnie is on step route, and maybe that's why he was afraid of going off step route, there are still some dangerous encounters can wreck you on the train. He can eat to get alive wholly, but I feel like backtracking on the recovery spring would have been faster and going to eat. Can't use those Phoenix Downs because he needs them in order to be able to pull off the rest of the game. The Phoenix Down in the train. It's third car. He knows where to pick up the item. Oh well. It's good that you know the backup strats. On like nothing ever happened. It's almost like he knew that's what he was gonna do. What a guy. What a guy. Important to know those things. As you can see, it can happen in a race. the 99 times that it doesn't happen, this is the one time that it does. It's funny, it's no escape. That's where the meme comes from, but yet you can run away from that fight. So I think, again, QA was a little bit off there. That was just a spelling mix-up by Ted Woolsey. Translation. That Phoenix was supposed to be PHO. Opportunity for Synthpop to catch up, though. And having that pincer and having Sabin stopped was a bit of a loss there. So hopefully Synthpop can run the table here. Base. We'll see. Vonnie's 1 is upside down. Maybe that's just me. It's upside down to me. The run validator check. Suplex the train. If he doesn't suplex the train, I'm going to be very disappointed. Another safety save. Goes from no saves to 2 saves really quickly. Encounter here. And unfortunately, Cyan and his running strats, he finally gets away. He picks up these important earrings. When Sabin does his Aura Bolt, it's not considered a physical attack, it's considered a magical attack. So we will have Sabin wear the earrings later on to do some damage. And, oh, Blaze there, takes some damage, keeps going. 1 got fixed. I don't know how it got broken, but it magically got fixed. So that's all that counts, coach. I just thought Vonnie was a hacker somehow. Not. We'll pull down the 1st and 3rd levers and come up and click the switch on the train at the top because this seems like a logical place to off button. Will Niram cause a problem? Here if run valid. Although Evil 2 might. Oh, the imp slow. It's a point. You could have done it. Use a remedy that you didn't buy. Run valid only because he got imped, but still much disappoint. Yeah. I don't want to give it to him, but I'm gonna say run valid based on technicality. Bonnie, it's okay. You got the evil tooth, so I give you a pass. Visual pass on that one. Obviously, I have the stream muted, so I can't hear what Vonnie's up to with his audio. But to make up, he needs a self-suplex. I would also consider Aura Bolt against a party member. That's always fun. No, Wabafudi, they're on the first one. We want to do Sabin's scenario first to get smoke bombs, which make the rest of the run easier. On the train, Vonnie comes off the train in roughly about a 103.30-ish. So we'll see. We do Sabin Snares so you can buy smoke bombs and the Mithril Pike to have that. Really doesn't matter what order you do it in because you only need it at Kefka, so I never thought about that. Sure. I have my answer to my question. He is able to do relics and whatnot. And then at Barren Falls coming up, Sabin and Cyan both get full heals, so having the imp at this point is not a huge deal. Other than, obviously, for this encounter here, that we want to make sure that they're able to run away. Cyan gets hit, and he's able to get away. As long as one character survived, that's all that really mattered. Shadow, that's why you get a full heal, because Shadow leaves your party at this point. Spoilers. Not Kappa yet, but coming up very soon. Because at this point, the game logic, if Shadow left your party, you would have nobody alive. Let's say in theory, if both Sabin and so it automatically heal and removes all status effects, so it's like nothing ever happened. You can see the intensity has gone down, and a preemptive to boot. So what we want to do, basically, Vonnie is setting up for a skip. Rhizopaz skip. We used to, in the last tournament, actually fight him. But then someone figured out that we can do this instead. Cyan, and we use a retort glitch. Going to Phoenix down and bring Cyan back to life. He's going to use Sword Tech 2 to retort. And Sabin is going to use Suplex, which is a physical attack. So a physical and a magical attack. The game doesn't quite know what to do. So it retorts, and it will actually skip the entire Rhizopaz cutscene. So it heals everything. It's like he's back in normal. So you see the miss there. Piranhas cannot be suplexed. And Cyan crits, and the game just says, oh, congratulations, you did it. Fortunately, bad pincer on Synthpop's side. The 4 Whisper pincer is probably second worst, only to 3 Bomb pincer, I would say. These enemies do Demi, and they have a lot of health, so... Bought some shurikens while I wasn't looking, so definitely good that he did that there. Save a little bit of time there. We're going to see Gal on Vonnie's side, getting renamed here. Couch, the Demi Lovato. And this is why, if you see Vonnie was on Step Route versus Synthpop, getting these 4 Whisper encounters, while not fatal, it definitely is not good if the goal is to go fast. Setting up his scene has also set up a Velt manipulation where we can avoid the unrunnable encounters, basically Templar Soldier. And unfortunately, he's going to get an encounter coming up that he'll have to beat. That's a Lobo Guard pincer, and there's the Magitech armor that's unrunnable. Basically, the game records all of your encounters previously and stores them into memory, and it pulls from there based on what siege you're on. It's up to Synthpop if he wants to suplex the train, of course. Vonnie gets through there. It's going to buy a dried meat to lure our friend Gal out of hiding. it looks as though it's going to be run valid. So Synthpop declared our winner, Train. Goes. Jade the run validation check. I'm at 109, so about 4.5, 5 minutes between them at this point. Vani is now basically looking for Gao. On the Veld, it's a 5 and 8 chance that after the end of any fight, he will not appear during a pincer, and it's first try Gao, so you know. Lucky. It is a 5 and 8 chance to appear after each battle. Will not appear if there's a pincer attack. Will not appear if there are certain encounter packs, and will not appear if one of your characters are dead. So, Spexel has written in chat, man, XY down up, and he did that. And Synthpop's run considered officially legit. Unfortunately, we just see right now on Vani's side cutscenes. Gal cutscene skip coming, because that would be great. Spur. He is the people's champ. He might not win the race, but he is the people's champ. And yes, Bunny, first try Gao, easy every time. There's only one major RNG point at Gao first try. We'll see how the trench rewards him for his first try Gao. I never got that far. Never used it. 1.1, yes. Cyan anywhere. When it came to all the other characters, I think I always took Terra, Celis, Sabin, and Edgar. Just said, screw you, everybody else. When I got to Kefka's Tower, I realized that that might have been a mistake. Coming up to Barren Falls, and unfortunately, it's into another unfortunate pincer with these 3 grasshoppers, which do they have the ability to berserk your opponents. He could run now. He's going to battle it out, though, it appears. It's a lot with Sabin, I remember. Cyan dying at this point now, probably not a bad thing. As he is the slowest to run, and in the trench we want to go fast, so the World of Ruin is definitely also a fun part of the game. I wish it was a little bit longer, but is what it is. Is Synthpop coming up to Rizapaz while Vani is looking for the Gao has as the treasure. They find the shiny. 3 people, 1 helmet. Again, another one of life's mysteries. Who knows for sure exactly how this works. This game, I should have said this a bit earlier, but for blitzes, Final Fantasy 6/3 US doesn't recognize diagonals. So anytime you do Orbital, you can just do down, down, left, or down, left, left. You have to do it like Hadouken in Street Fighter. Synthpop here, he's going to use Phoenix down. here if he can get things going while Vonnie's in the trench. It looks like he's going to be okay there. Back attack for Vonnie, an Aqua Rake, which saved, but as you can see, definitely has made the trench much, much more exciting. Cyan dead, you don't want everybody dead. Air Bomb, this game doesn't recognize diagonals, so anytime the Blitz input asks for a diagonal, you can go ahead and just quickly. Everybody dead. Aqua Rake definitely hurts like a truck. Oh. Cyan. There's a reason why you ran into so many Blitz input issues as a kid. Heal. When he playing it safe. For the fans. Sad face. I don't blame him. It's a race. I want to be good, so we'll fall there. Cyan will die, but here's the issue because Sabin has True Knight on. He's gonna block every single time. And will definitely not die now. There are only 4 encounters in the trench based on the route that we take. So again, a bit of a time loss there, but he should definitely be through. You weren't Air Bomb. Fortunately, it's just the game not recognizing those diagonals, but yet putting them in there, it made no sense to me either. You want to be on step route and on C manipulation to avoid Templar Soldier that synthpop got there. Money buying a pike, and he's going to buy as many smoke. He's going to buy 2 potions. 15 smoke bombs. He gets good NPC RNG, and he's back on the boat. I did suplex quite a bit just because I knew it would work every single time. I always thought the game was messed up. Do those things. Kurtz, tell your friends. Update your Facebook. About 117, we'll call it. Scenario. As I told everybody earlier, this is where we're going to do his sequence break. Where basically we are going to skip this entire cutscene by that guard. First try, easy peasy. And we're going to walk to South Figaro. And somehow we're going to be tunnel armor. It's going to be really easy because we know Lock does lots of damage. No issues. Oh, wait, Luck doesn't do a lot of damage. He has a way 2 encounters on the world map. Definitely a time loss there, unfortunately. We skipped a character. Some people in chat call her Celis. Or her General Kutan. But how Vonnie's going to kill Tunnel Armor without a fake character, because it's just him in the party. Hits like a truck, I remember. Lord and Savior. We'll see that Vonnie moved Locke into the second row. Oh, he appears to be getting a chest here. Oh, almost. Up into the second slot to prevent a gold bear. who also hits like a truck from doing some gouges and doing some serious damage, shooting into a pincer. A Thunder Rod would help him, because in this game, rods are ignore defense when it comes to enemies. Their max damage as in this case, a Bolt 2 spell. So I'm in North America. If you're overseas, you might call them lorries. Nature. We're going to see mystical character speak while Synthpop has picked up Gao and is going through a cutscene. Use Thunder Rod and Tunnel Armor. Boards, yes. We come down. Vani has finished Luck's scenario with the killing of Tunnel Armor. The last scenario with and Terra and Bannon. Still at this point, Bannon did receive. They all received a free heal. The rules still apply. If Bannon dies, you're done. So definitely don't want to do that. So, because we missed it with Vani's stream, you can always spam Kappa before it was cool. Die. Like to see that. So we see Vani getting through the rest of the river, coming up to Narshe. This door that he fiddled with something and allowed it to open, because it was super important. We learned that about an hour ago, hour and 8 minutes ago, roughly. We do Sabin's scenario first to get the smoke bombs, which Vani is now using. Smoke bombs to get away from encounters. There are some challenging encounters in here that we do want to run away from. Cause a problem. So we do come up to this checkpoint. Again, the game's a little broken. If you tag the light up to the middle and then go out and hold A, we'll automatically select the right tagging of the light, and basically you can continue on at that point. It's very special. It's very special for sure. Oops. Side attack for Vani. RNG continues to be good. He skips going into the Moogle Cave. Smart strategy. Saves one encounter to not go through the Moogle Cave. Definitely good. So we see Synthpop in the trench here. Everybody looks okay. Seem to be going according to plan. Vani is just in the process of finishing up Terra's scenario while Synthpop continues through the trench here. His second encounter. There's one chance there at spines, which would stop character. Unfortunately, again, Cyan running really slow. And Arvis, he has a name now. He was an old man up until now. Now his name's Arvis. Arvis and Bannon have a chat of the state of affairs of the world. Pro Strats, he's racing synthpop, but is still able to chat in RPG limit break. What a guy. About 124.25, so definitely not world record pace, but it's still shaping up to be a 129-ish. It's according to plan. Stop chatting, serious business. Got it, you gotta go 1-0. Head pop through with a great trench there. Chaos, it's about probably at this point about a 6 or 7 minute difference point. So they didn't take different routes. It's just some luck, some bad luck for synthpop. Manipulation. Synthpop was not doing RNG manipulation. Vonnie has been working this category quite a bit. $127, I believe, maybe 126. Really, Lynn, I feel like you would do less typing with Turbo because you'd have to actually like run. And Blue Phoenix, probably because on their splits, he's in the red versus he might be running against personal best or average or whatever it is. I think for missing the suplex, Vonnie should have to fight all of these enemies before Kefka, especially Ryder. You don't want to mess up or anything. Synthpop coming into Terra scenario. So yeah, so I would say about a 5 minute difference at this point. I think so, Lynn. We should be able to do that. Just, you know, commentator's choice. Such a fun sponge. So on the river back to Narshe, from here there is one mandatory encounter and there are 2 optional encounters. You'll see, yeah, unfortunately synthpop got it there. You'll see kind of the game lag just a moment there while he tries to do that. Vonnie does his last safety save as we are at Narshe. And we're going to fight Kefka and we're prepared. 10. Asking us if we have any other questions. Proper party. Everything is going good, it appears. It's coming into Narshe, so definitely still close up. I'm gonna say at this point, probably barring incident, Vonnie goes through, but you know, if an input gets missed or shots one of the characters with poison, it is still possible. It would look really swaggy. 2-minute loss for 8 seconds. That's a win every single time. Race through, he was able to avoid all the encounters because we have this ability. There's a map where those green go through. The green marshals won't go through. We're able to get to Kefka here, do some damage, easy peasy. going to use a series of weight tricks and other tricks, basically to avoid Kefka getting his third turn, because Kefka gets his third turn, it can definitely be bad news for the party. It's on track. Bolt is up and through. And it looks as though casual sub 130. Looks as though Vani has finished with an official SRL time of 1:29.30, improving his personal best by 2 minutes 8 seconds. So congratulations and GG to Vani Van. Swiss round run here. .2. You got a peace ring, so peace out. Congratulations to him. If we see Synthpop come through here, he's almost done the terror scenario. Good time. You want to come in with a good time, because if you go 3 and 1, it might help, although I'm not 100% sure how the tiebreakers work. No, Blue Phoenix, you can't skip the Ultras fight. In this round. Into the house in the not aware of that maybe Synthpop is. Let's try that. Yeah. The end of the terror scenario again. And he's going to come into the Kefka fight. Is there a fight? You know, Anatolius, that's a great question for someone who is really awesome at this game. Tips for it. They would have already been found, but you never know. Did terror scenario first, he's doing lock scenario last. My apologies. Order, which there's no regards to it, except there might be you save 8 frames or something like that. Appears as though Synthpop's doing the alternate clip strat, where the guard's going to come down, he's going to go into the menu and just kind of phase right through him like he was nothing. We skip ultras because he is such Dan's game. He's going to save there. Definitely a prudent strategy. Should Gold Bear get him? I don't think he moved his location. He did move his location, so he's okay. But with only 8 smoke bombs, safety's sake. To death is your jam, Raptor. Nice. And want to see more of the game. And we're going to see Locke run, just like before on Bonnie's stream, and we're going to see him go and pick up the Thunder Rod for tunnel armor. Suplex trains, and you're all out of octopi. Nice. See Synthpop come in, grab the Thunder Rod, go. And almost done here. Just one more encounter, unfortunately. And smoke bombs, so I had forgotten that he had already done terror scenario. When's tunnel armor skip coming? That's what I want to try and figure out. Skips. Data as well. Thunder Rod. Where's defense and does max damage based on Lux ability, which is enough to kill Tunnel Armor. Pop is through, and he will be onto the Kefka fight. It looks as though he is definitely on sub 140 pace, which based on his PB that I saw at speedrun.com before the race started, I think he had a 141. Definitely opportunity for him to PB here, unless he has an improved time beyond that. It's not something I can specifically see. Just going to see, unfortunately, some more cutscenes, a hallmark of Final Fantasy VI. That is fun. Otherwise, why are this tournament? I guess to win, maybe? Edgar talking with Cyan and Gal. And then saying to side with the returners, the Elder saying, well, Doma did that and they got destroyed, so we definitely don't want to do that. Four races. I'm sure I haven't been at 4 races, but maybe. It's possible. There's a king and a prince and some other people. Again, because we didn't pick up Celis in the basement in South Figaro, the game memory, because it was 1994, so it reuses character slots. In this case, the character slot for Celis is originally slotted to Kutan, which we used during the Marshall fight. So because we didn't pick up Celis, the game still thinks it's Kutan, so it just reads Kutan's data. No, Vani, he had a valid run champion for this race. Our inability to do a simple suplex equals champion. And I'm just joining in the fun because sometimes I'd love to commentate cutscenes, but it's hard to read the dialogue. Just more talking, and less action, unfortunately. The 0-1 group, funny. Hey. Definitely, Synthpop, I know he's going to finish strong here. Do great, do safety save. Strategy. Still want to finish strong. Sure he's prepared for everything. He's ready to go. He's going to one-shot Kefka. Rider, all the tech. Menuing here, put everybody in their groups. Money the SAS, the DQ group. Bonnie, life is rarely fair. Somebody taught me that a long time ago. Right. So again, Synthpop's going to come down. It's going to switch to Cyan's group, which has Cyan, Edgar, Sabin, and Gal, our main damage dealers, and he gets her just in time. Green officers skip that part at that point, except for that one. And that triggers the other soldiers to come up. He is checking to make sure everybody has what they need. Edgar's at level 10, so he's going to do a little less damage than normal. The output of damage against Kefka. Does get by Rider? He does. Perfect. Now we're into the Kefka fight again. The goal is to avoid Kefka's third turn by weight tricking at the appropriate locations. If I can ever figure it out myself, I will let chat know. Edgar, however, is in the back row. So, really unfortunate damage. I don't know if that's going to still be enough to avoid Kefka's third turn, because Kefka's third turn, he can either ice to one member, ice to the whole party, or bolt. So there's a 1 in 3 chance that badness can ensue. So we'll see. He is in front. Numbers are really low, even for level 10. They are that much worse. It's able to pull it off. Pop for sub 140. Congratulations. Good showing, Synthpop. Vonnie's really been grinding it down. He's spent hours and hours, so. Both runners. We can have the Atlas Armlet. That's why Synthpop. I forgot you didn't pick up Atlas Armlet. The restreamer. No, we need him. But I think that's it, and I think that's all the races for tonight. So I will air the Master of Ceremonies, and he can close it out.
Alrighty, thank you Nitsky for commentating that race. Congratulations to Von Yvonne for picking up the victory, and congratulations to Synthpop for not only having a valid run in suplexing the train, but picking up a PB there according to his splits, his first sub 140. So congrats to him as well.